Hello, class. Well, at least those of you who aren't here in school. I'm sorry you can't be here. I'm sorry we're having this crazy thing called COVID that is mixing up and confusing our lives and changing how we do things. My hope is that eventually you will be here. We will get this COVID thing under control. We'll get a vaccine. It'll be safe for you to come back. Our numbers will go down. And if that's the case, you need to know about this room and me as a teacher when you're here in the room. So we need to know what you, all the things you have to do and all the places in this room where there's important stuff for you. So we're gonna run through that right now. Pay attention. This will help you out filling out your orientation sheet. I'll have some of the answers. I'll take you to some of the places where the answers are. And it's a video, so you can stop it, you can back it up, you can pause it, you can zoom in, do those sort of things, and figure out what exactly you need to do. Okay, so as you can well see that my classroom is very different from any other classroom in Polson High School. It's got the stadium seating, it looks like a college. A lot of kids say, man, I feel smarter just walking in this room, and that may or may not be the case. Also, I want to tell you about this room. It's sometimes the hottest room in the school, and sometimes it's the coldest room in the school. That being said, you don't have to tell me. You need to bring a coat in the winter. You need to dress appropriately in the warmer months so that you are comfortable and able to learn here in the class. Got it? Great. So let's move on. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to learn about how this classroom functions and where that stuff's at. Hey, characters. Listen, I also need to talk about grades. Grades are posted on PowerSchool. I usually keep them up to date every single week, and sometimes even sooner than once a week, so you can check them at any time and your parents can check them at any time, as long as you're turning in your work. Anyway, your grades are like a pie, and if you like pie, how much of the pie do you want? The whole thing, right? So here's what you need to understand about your grades. If it's like a pie, 50% of that pie is tests. And then another part of that pie is a project. And this might be work, and this might be a quiz, etc. And so if you decide not to do one part of these, you're cutting out a chunk of the pie. And your grade will be greatly affected if you take one chunk out, okay? So what do we do about these tests? Some of you are freaking out, oh my God, half of my grade is based on my tests. Well, yes, it is. And actually research shows it should be more than that, but I'm trying to be a nice guy. Anyway, if you have a bad test for whatever reason, because you've never experienced a test from me or whatever that is, you can always do a test retake. But you don't get to just take the retake. You have to do a retake ticket first, which allows you to go through the information one more time, and then you retake the test. But you don't retake the whole test, and you don't go through all the information again. You go through just the stuff that you demonstrated that you didn't learn the first time, and you only retake those parts that you didn't demonstrate learning the first time. So that's what you have to do. Don't do well on a test, do a retake ticket, get that checked by me, and then you can retake just those parts of the test that you need to do. So that's cool. Also, you need to know one more thing, and that's about copying. Whether it's online or in the classroom, I'm pretty observant and I can see when it happens. So you don't want to do it, you lose half credit, and eventually it can go on your permanent record and you can actually fail classes for doing that. So please make sure that you avoid that, do your own work, it's the only way you're going to learn it. All right? Awesome. Okay. So when you come to class, the important thing you have to remember is that you need to be in class. If you want to be on time, you got to be here before the bell rings. So that doesn't mean you can come bursting in the door and say, I'm here, okay? Because you're not, you're late. So make sure that you get here before the bell rings, that you're in your seat, that you have the information out that you need to get started and you're ready to go, okay? So some things I need to show you that are around the school or the classroom here. If you happen to be absent, you are here attending school and you happen to be absent, you need to come back here, because right here you will find missing assignments. There aren't any right now because school hasn't started, but this is where missing assignments are. There's also some things like the older brown textbook is located back here. You got tape, you got markers that you can use on this whiteboard over here. This whiteboard here is for student use only, so please, I don't know what the deal is. Some students just love whiteboard markers. They love the smell of them. I don't know what it is. But anyway, if you need to write something, write it on here. Keep it appropriate. You can write something to one of your classmates in a different class, like third period, and say, hey, what's up, third period? That's fine. And write that up here, and do it at an appropriate time. Don't do it when it will distract other students, okay? This is a very important information board for you here. All this information is valuable to you as a student. This information back here in the back of the classroom, things that you will need to know about, and deal with throughout the day, and a lot of stuff that will appear on your orientation sheet, okay? When you leave class, make sure that you don't come up here and herd by the door. You're not cattle, okay? So wait in your seat. It probably takes you 30 seconds to put your stuff in your backpack and get out of here. So you'll have plenty of time to get out in the hall and get to your next class, and you'll be okay, right? One of the weird things that happens in this class, and I'm not sure why it is, but when students go to get rid of papers, they love to take them, put them right in this trash can right here, and instead of the recycle box, which is right next to it. So please move your hand 12 inches to the right, put it in the recycle box. You can see we can recycle pop bottles and cardboard and paper and stuff in here as well, so make sure that you're doing that too, okay? When you come into the class, you want to make sure you look for this guy right here, because there might be a paper that you need to take before you head back to your seat and get ready for class. All right, so let's talk about some other things that you need to do in this class, because there's quite a bit, and we'll get through it here. You are going to be using computers. You'll have one issued to you this year, so you just want to bring that with you. If we ever break away from that and we start using this laptop card here, make sure that you get your computer out of this laptop card and it goes in the correct numbered slot when you're done, and push it all the way in so it charges. These here are books that you can use in the classroom. I will not check you out a book this year, although you can go through this process if you'd like to. You get one of these books out of that cabinet right there, and you check it out and bring me this card, and you can check out a book and take it home for a short period of time if you need to finish up an assignment. Okay? Some other things. When you turn in a paper in this class, there are a couple of different ways that you can do it. Over here next to my desk are these guys right here. These are the turn-in boxes. You can see that they are numbered by class, so make sure that you turn it into the correct slot there. Sometimes I might say, hey, turn it into the box, and that means you got to turn it over there. Or I might say to turn it into the alphabetizer. This is the alphabetizer right here. You can see it's all alphabetical. These are your last names, so you just pick up the letter of your last name, put your paper in there that you. If you need to leave the classroom, if you're sick or like you're going to throw up, you can just like say, hi, I'm feeling sick, and you can leave the classroom. Otherwise, you need to get permission to leave the classroom. Freshmen, sometimes you have a planner. If you don't have a planner, you're going to need to get this from me and ask permission to do that so that you can leave the classroom and go to the bathroom or get a drink or whatever it is you need to do. Although you can't get a drink because the drinking fountains are shut down right now. So hey, deal with that. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my desk right here. You don't need to be in my desk. Nothing on my desk is yours. Always ask permission if you need to get something out of that. Okay, that's just respectful. Over here is the storeroom, and everything that's in the storeroom will eventually come out and you'll get to see it, so you don't need to go in there either. It's not very exciting. It's like a closet, okay? Up here you can also see there is a 3-hole punch and some staplers that you are welcome to use as students in this class. If you do manage to throw something away, there is a trash can right here. You can throw that away in this trash can. Stuff goes in there, unless of course it's recyclable. The recyclable stuff goes right there. So. Okay, class, I do need to point out a couple other things. There are a lot of supplies that are here for you to use on various things that we do in the class each year, and I just wanted to show where you can get those. Those are located here in the back of the classroom here. You can see all these things that are listed. Just open this cabinet up, and there's all kinds of stuff in here for you. There's scissors and glue sticks and all different kinds of paper and markers. If you need some lined paper, that's in here as well. So all that stuff is available to you. And let's not forget, you're going to want to sharpen your pencil. That's going to happen right here. The last one I want to talk about is your handy dandy cell phone. Everybody's got one. They're ubiquitous. We all use them. I use them, you use them, your parents use them, your friends use them, and that's the deal, okay? They do incredible things. I never could imagine something that is that small that you could use for all the things that we do today. However, I want to tell you, when it comes to education and cell phones, there is a lot of research that shows they're not very good. And so when you bring them into class, they need to be shut off and put away in your backpack. Ladies, not between your legs on the seat and not out on the desk, okay? There's several reasons why. A lot of research, and you're welcome to look some of this up on your own because there's been a ton of research done on cell phones. But the first thing is you can't multitask. It's impossible. Your brain only works on one thing at a time. And phones will distract you even when you're not using them. You can put them on the desk in between you and somebody else, and you're like, did it just buzz? I need to check it, and then you're being distracted. Also, it reduces closeness and empathy if you put your phone on the desk, because it says to somebody else, this phone is more important than you and I are. So you got to be careful about that. Being able to focus and not be distracted is a huge indicator of success. But this is a killer one. This is a study that they did in a Class A school in Montana. Not this one, but a different one. So exactly the same size school here in Montana, and they found out that if you ban cell phones, okay, students on average score 6% higher on tests. And disadvantaged students, these are students who usually do poorly on tests or struggle for whatever reason, they do 14% better on tests. So please, I'm just trying to say, when you bring when you come into the science classroom, put your phone away, put it on silent. We don't want to hear it, we don't want to see it. There's a clock in the room so you can tell what time it is. There's no reason for that. All right, I think that I may have covered everything that I need to. You'll also get some answers from your syllabus in order to fill out that orientation sheet. So lots of luck to you. Good job.